Hello, this is Diana. This is my Trailblazers of the Universe YouTube channel. On my channel, I am activating your personal, spiritual, and healing evolution. If that sounds good to you, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. So today's video topic is, if the past comes knocking, you don't need to answer. Often in life, when we are evolving and becoming a new and better version of ourselves, that's more aligned with our highest timeline, highest self, best self, often you'll face opposition, especially people from your past that maybe aren't taking the steps to improve their life and evolve. Maybe certain people that benefited off of you being in a lower vibration, or an old version of yourself that you no longer want to be and that really wasn't serving you. Maybe you weren't happy, right? So you'll find that when you try to elevate, you'll be tested more. People from your past will try to come back in your life, even after you've set boundaries, or even if you've thought you moved on or something. Some people try just to see, if there's something still there, or if you're going to go back to an old pattern. The past doesn't always have to be a person. It could be old thoughts, old belief systems, old feelings, unprocessed trauma. Maybe you had processed trauma and then something's coming back up again and you feel tempted to go back to an old version, or maybe an old toxic pattern of some sort. This could even be an addiction, just something that's not serving you, right? This is just a reminder that you don't owe anyone anything. You don't even owe your old self that, because you're becoming a new version. I've talked about in my video before, you can't go back to being a caterpillar after being a butterfly, right? You already went through the cocoon, you went through the metamorphosis. Imagine you're a butterfly, you have wings, and the old caterpillars are trying to bring you back to the ground to crawl. When you can fly, you have wings to fly and move forward and rise above things that maybe you didn't think you could get through. You're not obligated to anything or anyone. Doesn't matter if you have a history, doesn't matter if someone helped you in the past. You should never feel guilty or bad for doing what's best for you. And if you doing what's best for you triggers people, then you should really ask yourself, are these people really my friends? Do these people really have my best interest? Now, I know our egos get involved in when we're rejected and things of that nature, or especially if there's like heartbreak or something, or grief involved. There could be a lot of different scenarios, things from your past coming back to test you. And a lot of times it is a test. It is like, are you going to be this new version or not? I've talked about this a lot in my videos. So when that trigger comes up again, that's giving you an opportunity to respond differently. You change the reality and you heal and evolve when this trigger comes up again, but I'm responding in a different way. I'm more neutral, or maybe I'm observing, not just reacting. I'm responding, not reacting. Or I'm aware of it and maybe I'm pausing before I respond, or maybe I don't even interact with the energy. That's how you know you're evolving. It could be the person from the past coming back. Maybe they're testing you on your boundaries. All the healing work you said you've been doing, are you going to settle for this? Are you going to take the breadcrumbs? Or are you going to be this new version that values themselves and sees their own worth and isn't going to lower their standards or accept? This could be temptations, maybe an old toxic pattern. This could be in the form of addictions. Could be maybe substances, could be sexual. It could even be social media. It could be food. Some kind of pattern that's not serving you. It will be like a stressor that comes up again, because usually when you're doing those type of behaviors or the toxic patterns, often it's you don't know how to cope with it. So you're going to this that gives me some kind of comfort, even if it's short-term comfort or a high or something, just to make it go, or maybe a numbing of something, right? But that's just temporary. Then it comes back, and then you find yourself wanting to repeat these behaviors over and over again. They become like addictions, right? So sometimes the trigger will come up and you're going to go back to that old coping mechanism, or you're going to do something new, or maybe you found a more positive, healthier coping mechanism, right? Awareness is the key with this stuff. And even if you did kind of go back to an old pattern, that's okay. You were at least aware of the pattern, right? And then you just went back to an old like knee-jerk response or your old reaction. So it takes practice. I made a video called New Levels, New Devils, and that's pretty much what happens as you're evolving. Like, you up the ante. The challenges are more, but also the reward is more too. If you can pass these tests or respond differently in a way that's more aligned with your best and highest self, you become a different person. Your reality literally shifts. Just because the past comes knocking, you don't have to answer. You don't have to respond like you used to. You don't have to interact with energies that you don't vibe with anymore or that aren't resonating with you anymore. You might even be going through a dark night of the soul where everything that you identified as or were like attached to, or everything that was attached to your old self falls apart because it doesn't resonate, because you've shifted, right? The frequency doesn't match anymore. So that's common. And allow yourself to grieve too. Sometimes it can be tough. You're grieving your old self. You're grieving people you used to be friends with, maybe old relationships, or maybe even just the comfort of whatever toxic pattern that you had, or maybe addiction that you had. Maybe it gave you some kind of comfort. And that is grieving, because think about it, you had that thing in your life and it's gone. So you just have to allow yourself to process the grief. Don't feel obligated to your past version. Be okay with the loss. It's not really a loss. It's energy's transformed, right? It's transmuted. You become a different person. The energy might still be there, but maybe you've just transmuted it and you're using it for something healthier, something better, something more positive, something that serves you. Or maybe you channel your energy into something different like that. So be willing to let go of the past and move forward and keep stepping into that new version and responding in that new way. And when you do that, it will naturally fall away. Like, it will be easier to release your past and all the people, behaviors, thoughts, feelings attached to it. That's all I have for today. If you like this content, hit those like and subscribe buttons. I also have a Facebook group, Instagram, TikTok, and 2 podcasts. The links are in the video description. I also offer coaching if you need intuitive guidance to motivate and support you on your healing, spiritual, and personal growth journeys. My contact information is in this video description. Have a good day. Namaste.